Hello, Star Wars and unboxing fans. Welcome to another unusual episode. I think there have been a lot of unusual episodes as of late of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and just kind of giving you a quick pass around the room here. Behind me, you've seen all these. We've done shelf talks. Look on my past episodes. You can see a lot of items here. You can see we have a lot of Galaxy's Edge items right here. Got some Gentle Giant Jumbo figures along with Sideshow and Hot Toys. Some multi-packs, some Black Series in the box, a lot of loose figures, and this is only one of several rooms. But as you can see, not a lot of room. So, the bane of every collector. What does one do? Does one sell it all off? Does one and just give up collecting? Probably not. Does one decide instead to build another room? Or maybe another house? Or find a place with a huge amount of property in an old beat up chicken coop and build another Rancho Obi-Wan like Steve Sansweet did? It's an option, I suppose. But it is, in fact, not viable because that would cost money that we just don't have, we can't finance. So where does that leave us? Well, there's only a finite amount of space. So what can one do? One needs to find ways to create new space without building on and adding on. So we have to kind of rotate through and sell off the collection. If you've been watching the channel from the past year, you know that I've actually prepped for something like this a year ago. Took a bunch of things, put them into a yard sale, sold them for probably a few bucks more than I would other yard sale items, but less than I would if I took it to like a toy show or something. And it all sold. Mostly to dealers that wanted to resell it. I have no problem with that. These toys are not an investment for me, except an investment in joy and happiness and nostalgia that I very much had. And now I have other needs, and part of that needs is to rotate the collection. I'm not willing to sell it all, not yet anyway. So I am going to pick out some things that I want to sell. So I'm going to just point out a few things that I'm going to be putting up for sale. I've done some eBay things. I've done some yard sale things. I think that most of this is going to be up in the next yard sale. So here is the first thing I wanted to show you. We got a couple of items here. We have a Star Wars Celebration Japan poster. We have a collector series. I've been selling off a lot of my collector series. This is a collector series Tusken Raider. Came out in the mid-90s. All right, there's a Luke Skywalker. There's a titanium die-cast Boba Fett. Along with that, we have a Porg. Yeah, this is the only Porg of all the Porgs I have that I kind of feel like it's kind of a head scratcher. I don't know. I don't get it. There's a Chewbacca down there, collector series. Here's some cereal food premiums from The Force Awakens. There's a holocron kind of guessing game. A lot of random stuff here. We have a R2-D2 stamp, a little stamp. We have a bunch of just random figures. I bought a bunch of these online to use for making figure wreaths, and now that I've done that, I don't really need the rest of them. So, whoop. Okay. In addition, we've got a Bendham's Vader figure. Several of these are these more recent, kind of inexpensive. I call them Black Series knockoffs that Hasbro made, their own versions of Black Series knockoffs. They're a little smaller. They're about like 5-inch figures. You can buy them in places like Five Below and in drugstores and stuff. But I ended up already having these two, so I'm going to put them out there. Star Wars T-shirt. A couple of Star Wars T-shirts. There's a Qui-Gon, another Qui-Gon. Not a lot of love for Qui-Gon. There's a Leia down there. These are a little bit damaged, so. And a titanium die-cast ARC 170 Starfighter. So that's just some of the stuff. I have many other boxes of stuff that I've gathered in my garage, which I'm not going to show right now. But I also have some random little stuff here. We've got a Easter egg die kit. This is a label, some Star Wars fabric, some comic book, Star Wars Jedi Academy books. But there's one large set of items that I wanted to show you that I'm going to try to sell. I have pretty much opted out of any more collecting of magazines and things of the like, periodicals. I am done with it. Why? Well, you know, when I first collected these, this is mainly these are my stacks in order of all my Star Wars Lucasfilm Fan Club, which changed to the Star Wars Insider. And while I loved them and I thought they were great, and I, you know, poured through each one day after day when they came out each month, I did feel that, you know, with the advent of the internet and more websites, it seemed like all the articles that they were printing were things that I found out a month earlier online, and then I just realized that there's really, it's kind of outlived its usefulness. Yes, there's some great imagery, but a lot of the imagery is stock imagery, you know, and it's not something that I feel is needed. I have not looked at any of these more than the time that I first got them, and I just kind of stored them. Well, the storage space needs to be moved around so we can move some other stuff, and that is what we're going to do. We have a few other items down here, which I'll show, but I thought I'd give you guys a little tour of the things. And listen, if anybody here, I'm not doing this to promote the sale, although I will let you know when I'm doing it. If any of you have an interest in something specific that I had here and you'd like to, you can always leave a comment, or you can email me, darthtuba77@gmail.com, and we can maybe discuss if you want to make a purchase. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff here, but let's talk about the beginning of this. Was the Lucasfilm Fan Club. Okay, you can see here we had the very first is this the very first? Yeah, I think it's the very first, because I think number 2. Yeah, first collector's issue. There it is, 3PO and R2. Really cool. Anthony Daniels, first thing. I'm not going to go through every one of these, but I'll just go through a few samples here. The Star Tours, Willow, Tucker. They were trying to promote other things besides Star Wars, because at this time, this is in the 80s, and Star Wars was not, shall we say, in the zeitgeist, or whatever they would call it. A little thing about George Lucas interviews. Okay, so I have here's a Harrison Ford. Here's some Steven Spielberg. Here's a Sean Connery. Kind of cool. So you can getting into we're here now. We're into the 80s, late 80s, I should say, 89. Director Irvin Kershner recalls Empire Strikes Back. Maniac Mansion. I mean, oh my goodness. I somehow get the feeling if I put this out there, this is gonna be left behind. But another more of Indiana Jones, 1981, 1991, 10-year celebration. The Force Strikes Back. So that's cool. Right, and then for some reason I'm missing number 15. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave these kind of marked up here like as tabs, just so I know. You know, there's a young Indiana Jones, inside exclusive interview, future of Star Wars. That should be interesting, right? See, a lot of these things you can find PDFs of them online. So here we have now you'll notice here, yeah, now we switch over. It's now issue 23 becomes Star Wars Insider. There's a Ralph McQuarrie sketch, Ralph McQuarrie interview. This one I'm just gonna hold. This one is another one, but it's actually autographed. I had it autographed by Dave Prowse. So I was went back when it was the Men Behind the Mask tour, before they were so popular that they needed their own celebration. As you can see, just going through Star Wars Insider, and we get to here, we're now getting into the special edition, and they changed the look, right? We got the Wampa attack, nice Mark Hamill interview. It's kind of fun to go through the Star Wars through the years, as it were. Anchorhead and the Sandstorm. Why are these Jawas smiling? Now we're getting into episode 1 rather. Some Simpsons stuff. There's some really cool stuff here. For people who are really into this kind of ephemera kind of thing, Evil Has a New Name. Revenge of the Sith, which I thought was interesting that they had this as the title of the magazine. This is when episode 1 came out, so foreshadowing, anyone? Okay, and then we're moving on here. We have something about Aura Singh, Anthony Daniels again. There's a Mara Jade, which I think she posed for like the customizable card game. Star Wars Road Trip, and Empire Strikes Back guide. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to even be able to fit all this in a box. So, Christopher Lee. Oh no. Okay, that's all right. Not a problem. Just flipped over. Better to do it here. Dawn of a New Era. Episode 2, Mace Windu. Episode 1 DVD stuff. I mean, this was the place to get the information we wanted to get. 25th anniversary. More imagery from episode 2. There's Yoda. Famous Jedi, including Ayla Secura. Oh, gotta be careful here. What happens now is that this gets so... The magazine started getting thicker with the prequels. These got a little bit bigger. There's a ton. So they really 20th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Some great stuff. There's no shortage of cool articles, cool stuff to talk about. But it just came to the point where here's Ray Park, another interview with Ray Park, and now we got to see a little bit of Revenge of the Sith. Get some more Revenge of the Sith stuff. Keira Knightley from her role there. Stormtrooper. Clone Wars Season 2. As I said, I'm just kind of giving you a taste of these. No! Stay. Oh, I do want to go back on one thing, though. Hang on one second. I got to find one thing. 72. Oh, not there yet. All right, cool. Yeah, it's coming up. All right, so Dark Side Anakin, Ground Assault. Okay, cool. But let's talk about this one. I want to talk about this particular episode, this particular issue. It was issue number 84. And it was actually there were actually 3 separate covers. This is just one of the covers. This is my favorite issue. So much so that I actually have 4 other copies of it. So I don't mind selling this one, but I do have 4 other copies. The 3 different covers and another one. Why? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Because on the back, I submitted something that my daughter drew when she was 9, and they posted it. And they even gave her a little shout out, and amazed at the fact that she drew this drawing of Anakin, kind of based on the Clone Wars cartoon series Anakin, the Genndy Tartakovsky, and she was 9. They were pretty impressed with that. So, pretty cool stuff. So, proud papa there. All right, more. We got Vader's Reborn. We got more about the Sith. We got. Now we're getting past the episode 3 time, and we're kind of dealing with Indy 4. That's coming up. A long time ago. Star Wars Legacy. The problem is these magazines are slippery. Okay, I got to be careful how many I put in here because I want to make sure that people can kind of leaf through them. Rise of the Empire. Luke, Leia. 100th issue. Lasers, Beast Wars, Clone Wars, Dark Force. Some pretty cool stuff. Okay. And we continue with Heroes. There's a lot. This stuff's great. Now we're getting into Clone Wars ideas. It's great, but it's starting to take up some room, folks. Cad Bane. More foreshadowing. Old Republic. Some later seasons of Clone Wars. I think I'm going to leave it. Maybe I'll do... No, I think I'm going to leave it at that. All right, so after getting through a box here, I realized that I should probably set them up in a slightly different way. So, and in order to do this, I'm actually going to use gravity as my my ally. So I'm going to actually stack them. Okay. So next up, we have, now we started getting into these other things, like I think we're up to 119. The thing about these is that I started getting the subscriber version, which basically didn't have a title on it. It just had the picture. In fact, I think what I'm going to do here is, hang on one second, I'm going to just lower this a little bit. Yeah, so I can just kind of, so you can see, you got Han, Star Killer. All right, you got some pretty cool imagery here. And you know, you go into into a bookstore or somewhere to buy the magazine there, you would see the same thing, but it would have the articles and all the text on it. But for subscribers, they would get these really cool kind of, you know, I guess you could say clean covers. You know, and I think that's something that comic books have since taken up to as well. And again, for some reason, I don't know, like, they probably exist elsewhere. Here's looks like a Return of the Jedi and a Obi-Wan kind of thing. And then we're getting into stuff. All right, and then here's some more. We got Yoda. We got Padme. I mean, you know, now we're getting past the Clone Wars. We're starting to get into, you can see they're really doing a lot of revisitation, right? Vader, Boba Fett, interesting enough, another Obi-Wan, Stormtroopers, Grievous. Okay, so moving on along, we're kind of getting to the end of it. Not the end of the line. The magazine is still running. Okay, it's just I opted to end my subscription. So you can see, oh, there's what's his name? The Vader's little princess and whatnot. Okay, you got some Rebels characters here. The Inquisitor. There's Zeb, Stormtrooper. Some more with Palpatine. Oop. Now we get into Force Awakens. We're home. Ahsoka. You know, then we start getting into Force Awakens. There's Phasma. There's Kylo. There's a traitor character. Freemasons. Okay, from Legos. I'm sorry, Lego. Forgive me. Some cool art. Some Death Troopers. Nice little tribute to Carrie Fisher. Actually picked up a second one of these, so I actually kept that. One of my favorites. The Force is with me. And then we started getting into these things that kind of tribute to all the different episodes. I don't know why I don't have them all, but I think this is where I actually stopped. Oh, leading up to, I think, the 200th magazine. I think that's where I stopped doing them. So that's my Star Wars collection, my Star Wars Insider collection. I also have a couple of these Star Wars Kids, which came out again around the time of the episode 1. So there's some pretty cool stuff in there. I do have a Star Wars Kid, or either Star Wars Kids or Star Wars Galaxy magazine that kind of goes in different places. Kicking it up with some vintage here, we have a Dynamite magazine back from the 70s. We have a couple of these Star Wars. These are these magazines that were also posters. They're little short articles that you could open up and see posters with them. So there's some pretty cool stuff there. There's a Return of the Jedi version. Of course, greatest form of flattery is the Mad magazine. There's one for episode 2. There's one just a general Star Wars special. I think I collected there's actually a full trade paperback with all of these in them, which I have. A couple of technical journals. Okay, so one for stuff about, well, I guess they're all over the place. So you can see that there's a lot going on there. Something a little bit more unusual, kind of a Star Wars learning, if you will, because learning can be fun. We have a fun book. What's cool about these books is that they're almost made of a plastic, so you can actually write in them with like erasable marker and then reuse them. so they're kind of cool. Writing numbers 1 to 10. A couple of coloring books. One even came with crayons. So just a couple of random items in my, back in my Star Wars Day kick. And of course we have a few. Let's talk about TV guides. We have a couple of TV guides. We have these guys. This is like more recent, right? This one actually comes with a DVD, exclusive CD-ROM. CD-ROM brought to you by Toys R Us, behind the scenes video. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? All right. Here's something a little not magazine-y, but it's a cassette tape holder. But it actually includes 2 cassette tapes, a Empire Strikes Back read-along cassette and an Indiana Jones read-along cassette. I do no longer have the books to read along to, but I wanted to kind of put them in here to kind of help give it some space. And then I gathered up these. This is basically just a whole notebook full of photo stills. I'm sorry for my light. These are not autographs or anything, but these are just stills. I think what happened was I was at a show one time, and I was very broke. I did not have a lot of money, and these were like the only things that I could afford were stills. They were meant to be stills that you would get autographs from, but I just picked up the stills. I didn't, because the stills at that time might have been $1 each or $2 each. So there's Leia from the holiday special. I remember getting that, thinking that Leia looks weird. Why is that? So there's Vader, Yoda, Lando, cool skiff, a couple other ones. There's a Luke and Leia. There's some stormtroopers, Gamorrean guard, a few more. So that is that box. Okay, one more box. Let's start with some Marvel Oversized Special Edition, episodes 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are large size comics. I don't know if these are. Yeah, get that out of there. This one has a bad fold in the back there. Sorry to say, but these are, have been used. But they're some pretty cool stuff going on there. We also have TV guides. Now, of course, with all 3 episodes, we had a set of 4. Now, I put these in Ziplocs for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but I did. Probably just to protect them. We have Jar Jar, everybody's favorite, Jabba the Hutt. These are all the digital CGI creatures. Watto, and of course, Boss Nass. So, some pretty cool ones there. And I think you can put them all together and make like a front cover. This has been, when episode 1 came out, there were so many cross promotions. It was crazy. And then this was interesting. Like, they had 2 sets of special issues. They also had this one. That again, these were kind of like a poster. You have, Padme, Obi-Wan. Hello there. Qui-Gon. And Anakin. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if these, these I'll just show 2 of them. See what they did there? They made like a puzzle. But really cool stuff. Again, and these are vintage, the old. See, kids, you don't know the struggle. This is it. This was your top TV. You didn't know what was on. You got to look at these TV guides, and they would show everything that was on the whole week. And you waited bated breath for that to come out so that you would know when Knight Rider was on, or when Dukes of Hazzard was on, or when fill in the blank TV show, the Hulk. Who knows, right? So when episode 1 came out, that was one set. Then they also had a set of episode 2. Okay, these were more lenticular. They had like a cool, I don't know if you can see it coming through here, but like they're moving the face there. And another one. Little Anakin. Little Obi-Wan and Anakin. Oh, I like this one. It's kind of hard to make out, but I don't know if you can do. Oh, there it is. It has like the old, the new, or sorry, the old, the new, the old, the new. That's cool. And R2-D2: The Untold Story, which was a kind of a fun book behind, or show mockumentary called Beneath the Dome. That was cool. And then some more lenticulars for episode 3. fun stuff. And then there's... Poor Luke never got any love. It was just Leia. But that's a 3-time one. That's kind of cool. So these are cool. Lastly, Story of Empire Strikes Back book on tape. I lived off of the Star Wars one of these. In fact, you can see, if I point back there, up top in the upper left corner there of your screen, you can see I put the Story of Star Wars right up there. That was our Betamax. That was before Betamax. That was before DVD. That was before VHS. That's how we enjoyed Star Wars when we weren't in the movie theater. It was like a 40-minute, 20 minutes on each side, sound clips and voices from the film, just edited down to like a 40-minute version with a narrator kind of to connect the dots. This is the Empire Strikes Back version done on tape. Here's a Return of the Jedi version, also on tape. I have the tape here. Tape is included. Now, don't ask me how well these tapes play. You can probably find all of these like recordings on YouTube and places like that. Here's a fun one. Here is a Return of the Jedi soundtrack album, but it's like a picture album. These have become much more popular today, but this actually came out in the early 80s. And we have any more records? No, but we do have calendars. And you know, calendars are weird. Some people like them, some people don't. They just have some great imagery, you know. Okay, so here's a nice Star Wars one. Star Wars Special Edition. Star Wars 95 calendar. This is that Coca-Cola drawing I love so much. May the Force be with you. And randomly, Attack of the Clones. All of which are going out. All of which are getting sold. Why? Because I don't want to keep them anymore. And when I put some stuff out last year, I talked to some collectors who said, you know, we really enjoy collecting a lot of different things. So I figured, okay, well, let them enjoy it. And I hope that they come out. Anybody watching my channel, I'll probably be doing the sale one of the last weekends in June. Probably like a Thursday, Friday, early Saturday kind of thing, and I'll put stuff out on Facebook for the people that are local. If you're not local, it doesn't make sense, right? But again, if there's something here you saw and you think you'd like to make a purchase, okay, I'd be willing to do that. Make a deal with you offline, okay? I'll probably use Venmo. You'd have to Venmo me. You can check out. You can discuss stuff on the email if you want to, if you're worried about trusting me. I assure you I'm a trustworthy person, but we'll work that out if we have to. But I'm not showing you this really to sell it to you. I'm showing it to you just to show you stuff that I've had in the collection. But eventually these will be no more. They will be out distributed into the world for other people, so I can have room to collect more Black Series and more vintage collection and stuff like that, because that's what I'm using this space for. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for putting up with this longer kind of show and tell video. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. That like button, guys, is really, really important. It really lets YouTube know you like the channel. And check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba. Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. Check out the War of the Stars podcast. And until next time, may the Force and the toys and the magazines and the TV guys and the records and the calendars and all this other stuff that I'm no longer going to be collecting be with you if you'd like it to be.